check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Okay, Mr. Ibrahim, pleasure to meet you, pleasure to make your acquaintance. Thank you very much for spending the time to speak to us today. I'm sure our viewers will be happy to hear about your insights into the Egyptian e-hailing market. As we know, obviously, it's a massive market in the MENA region, a huge market as well for one of the biggest players, Uber and Careem. I think in the top 10 for them as market share in terms of the ride-hailing space. And of course, the transformation of the sharing economy has obviously played a big part and a big role in people's usage of the e-hailing space. Of course, obviously, we know that Egypt has a big transportation issue as well as big congestion problems. So, of course, it's very interesting to know, how the e-hailing space will develop over time. We obviously know that there's going to be a massive growth in the forecasted period from 2021 to 2028. I think an expected rate of around 20% this period. And we're here all today, and we're very much interested to hear about the city mobility in Egypt and your insights. So one of my first questions I would say would be, how would you describe the mobility sector in Egypt, and what are the market trends that you're seeing currently?
Thank you for your time, and I'm happy and glad to have this conversation with you. Basically, if you asked me this question 5 years ago, I'll tell you a different story. Right now, I think in the last couple of 5 years, Egypt has been developed like 50 years of development only in 5 years. Yeah, we squeezed the infrastructure for all cities. We have now many plans for the e-mobility, including the electric taxi, the electric cars, the electric vehicles manufacturing in Egypt, electric infrastructure, monorail, high-speed train, many new bridges which solve the issue of congestion and traffic, many new routes, many new tunnels. Actually, I was listening to a speech for the Prime Minister, Dr. Mustafa Madbouli, last week. He said that actually we was planning to do this in 50 to 60 years, but under the supervision and our president, Mr. Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, what happened in last 5 years, in my imagination, it should done in 100 years. I don't know if you visited Egypt soon or not. But it is very growing right now, especially in the infrastructure, in e-mobility, in many sectors, in in renewable energy, in clean energy. So it's booming market. Yeah, we are a country with over 100 million population, and it is very potential market for many companies. And the industry of e-mobility and this type of application and ride hailing and this stuff is very developing. I can tell you one example happened last month. One of our friends, he's one I proud to know, the owner of Swivel. It wasn't Nasdaq. It became a popcorn with 1 billion USD. It is just an application with mindset and with many things in the country to make it happen. The environment in the country right now is very different to 10 years ago. I think we will have many new things nobody can believe in next couple of years, inshallah.
Okay, that's great to hear. I mean, in your opinion, this transformation, how is it different from the other MENA countries?
Actually, if we look to the population, our country have 100 million population. So it needs more effort, it needs more investment, it needs more competitors. I'm very happy to hear about the competitors in every industry. If we will talk, as you sent me the question, like about Uber and Careem, there is many competitors right now, and next year you will hear about 2 or 3 new competitors. And global companies like Didi, for example, they opened their office in Egypt last month. another company, I think it is Russian company called Endrive, and you will find the many. Egypt now is a good environment to put a new business. They encourage the investment. It is stable with very strategic positioning in very strategic position in the region. The government are facilitating everything in the infrastructure with grow our country. All of us are working.
Okay.
Myself, I work like 18 hours per day, and then weekend as well. Yeah.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. I mean, of course, when you're trying to push something kind of revolutionary in the market, you always need to be at the forefront. You need to be pushing from all angles in order to develop it. It kind of brings me to my next question. What about the regulations in Egypt? You know, how difficult is it to launch a e-hailing business in Egypt with big players like Uber and Careem dominating the markets? I know that, for example, you mentioned the Swivel. There's Dubki as well, Wingo. I know those ones from Egypt are quite dominant players in the market as well. So what is your stance in terms of the new development of e-hailing space in Egypt for new players?
It is not hard. It is very easy. For example, your company, which you are interviewing me from, without mentioning the name, there is application for ride hailing using your application, but we can't disclose this. The regulation is not hard. You have to arrange with the institution which is responsible for this. The most important thing, how to make it successful, how to penetrate the market well. You will hear about 10 or 15 applications last couple of years, but not all of them succeeded. The regulation is perfect. It encourages the investor, it encourages the entrepreneur, but the most crucial and the most important, the business planning. How you make this will have be successful, how you will be eager and have the persistence to make it happen. This is the most important. But regarding the regulation, it is easy to have this. I can help anybody who wants to do this if he has the real mindset.
Okay, so it's not. I mean, there isn't so many regulations, so many big hurdles. I mean, to overcome.
We are in digital transformation era right now. Everything is being better, being easier. We are encouraging this as a developing country. Maybe you hear some rumors about new applications, but the most important thing about this application, how they will take part of the cake. The market still have many parts of cake. It is all about the competition.
And this is the kind of point that you mentioned, which would be kind of a criteria to success, right? Because you said you open the doors for newcomers, new entrepreneurs, new businesses to start and flourish. But the main criteria for success is the penetration of the market, right?
Yeah, the strategy you are putting, the understanding to the market analysis, the geographic distribution analysis, many things, the team you are working with, the resistance to be successful. It is not easy. It is not easy to compete this tycoon, okay, or this mega successful companies, but it is doable.
Okay, and in terms of like personalization, customization, we all know that the younger generation, they're always looking for something out of the box, not a specific commodity. How would you say that the services that are available in Egypt have crafted to their needs? Like in terms of perhaps special ride offers or certain local preferences that they might have catered to that are different?
Yeah, I saw some companies making some promotions. I heard about this, some promotion to be transported outside of the city for example, from Cairo to Alexandria. They make some promotion for new lines. It is not only in Cairo right now, it is in other governments. It depends which segment you are targeting, which category of age you are targeting. But all the companies are competing, especially after the COVID. They make some promotion. For example, I used another application called the Endrive. It is 70%, 30 or 40% less than the other. like Uber and Kareem. It is market. It will reform. It will have new things by time. It will develop. Every couple of months, you will hear a new campaign. It is market competition. For sure,
Sure.
you will hear many of this. Yeah.
Okay. And most of the mobility providers are concentrated in Cairo. How about the other cities in Egypt outside of the capital? How do you see them developing? What's the infrastructure that they have in place there? And what are they doing, obviously, to make sure that they cater to those areas?
5 years ago, everything was concentrated and capitalized in Cairo. Right now, we will have a new capital. We are caring about the new cities like Mansoura, Aswan, Luxor, Hurghada, Gona, Alexandria. All of these cities are developing. The government is developing the infrastructure of all of this, not only Cairo. So we are in a different regime. 5 years ago, it is totally different from now. So such applications will have a great opportunities in these cities. For example, I'll tell you about Didi. They started their launch in Alexandria because the infrastructure right now in Alexandria is existing. In other cities, the infrastructure are developing. We are not 100% developed, but we are in a very fast growing curve in developing. And the infrastructure is one of the bases the government is focusing on, because this will help us to live a better future and to see a better Egypt.
For sure. I agree. And the focus now obviously being the electric vehicles. You mentioned this in the beginning to us, and of course, obviously the partner that you plan to speak about in Egypt is very much focused on the electric vehicle space. Is there very much an opinion that you see this move towards electric vehicles in Egypt, and how is this market growing?
Exactly. The government right now and the president himself is encouraging to promote this and to developing phase to produce and make a local electric vehicle cars. There is some companies in the market right now having their electric vehicle infrastructure. There is many types of electric vehicle right now. It is something new only to the customer, but from my perspective, I see it is very growing. Last 2 or 3 years, this was like only 1,000 electric vehicles. Only last month, I think 75 or 100 car having the license. Last month, it is something new. Just we are putting the regulation, the license, the tariff of the electricity charging. All of this is new to the country, but it is under very fast developing curve. I can assure to you, in next 2 quarters, you will hear about 2 or 3 companies which is responsible for electric vehicle charging. There is investment from the government in such area. We are trying to localize the production of electric vehicle cars in Egypt. It will grow. It will grow very fast.
So local Egyptian players or foreign companies as well?
Joint venture and local Egyptian players, both of them, yeah.
Okay. I mean, obviously the eco-friendly stance is one of the major factors. Of course, I remember I used to live in Egypt quite so many years ago when I went to school there, and I remember for a long period we had per liter of petrol it was only 1 Egyptian pound, and that was the price ongoingly. So I know obviously that has changed since the rising fuel prices, and of course I'm sure that they want to take a bit more of a positive pollution stance in promoting electric cars. So I hope also to see more electric cars on the Egyptian roads in the near future as well. Do you think also the demand for electric vehicles is also going to be put in place in the other cities of Egypt, and not again where the focus is always in Cairo?
No, it is not in Cairo. Many of these companies which already have infrastructure or are planning to put an infrastructure, they having charging station around Egypt, not only in Cairo. They have in Hurghada, Alexandria, Sharm el-Sheikh, North Coast, Mansoura, Zakazek, many cities. Yeah, there is other also about the electric vehicles. It exists in many cities, not only in Cairo.
Okay. So in terms of the infrastructure, Egypt is already, moving forward with this e-vehicle penetration. So it's becoming a lot more adaptive in that sense there.
Yeah, exactly. And
so we're seeing a lot, like you said, we're seeing these charging stations located for use across Egypt, right?
Exactly. You can check it on any application like Blackshare or something. You will find many.
Okay.
And next year you will find more than this.
Are you using an electric vehicle, sir?
I'm right now I'm trying to allocate one, but it's a matter of time. 2 or 3 months. I was having a Tesla 4 years ago,
okay.
But I'll have a new one in 2 or 3 months. Hopefully.
Okay, nice. And have you driven in any electric vehicle taxis in Egypt?
In Egypt, not
yet.
Yeah, okay. But there is 2 or 3 companies. Uber right now is making a test with Nasr factory cars, the local cars. It is joint venture between Egyptian and Chinese electric vehicle manufacturing. There is Didi, as I told you, they will have their electric vehicle. Swivel itself, they will have its electric buses. It is not only about the cars. It is about the transformation to logistics, to all type of vehicles, to the train, to the high-speed train. We will have the monorail.
So all transportation links, basically.
Exactly. Egypt is investing billions in that area. And it became real. It is not only hopes. It is
okay. That's good. Right, I mean, that you're seeing it for your own eyes, that you're seeing this transformation.
Yeah.
It's huge progress for Egypt, for sure.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the innovation and the future for Egypt. How do you see the mobility industry change? Like, how have you seen it change? Now you've seen the change in this period of time. How will you see it in 10 years, in 15 years? What is your hope for the future?
Basically, we are concentrating right now in localization of manufacturing in many sectors. We are focusing on the educational sector. We have many new advanced universities in Egypt right now. We will have very promising generations, the young people. I'm not old, but the younger people than me. They are very smart. They love their country. I can see. I couldn't imagine that in this 5 years, if we go backward, we are in this stage. I'm proud of this. I'm happy to be part of such things in our country. And I see we will exceed many expectations in many sectors.
What is your big dream for Egypt?
To stay safe and to be more advanced. And to see more automation and to help other countries in the region to manufacture everything in Egypt.
Yeah, to be a local dominant force. Yeah, for sure. And exactly. Giving the pandemic conditions that everyone has faced across all the countries, how has Egypt kind of adapted to take measures to protect themselves and protect obviously their people, protect their drivers, protect their riders? What have you seen in place so far, and how do you think those measures are being put to good use?
The economy has been affected in many countries, but we started to have a recovery in our economy. The Ministry of Health played a very important role to facilitate the vaccine to each body in the country. They created an online website. They give the vaccine free for all the Egyptians with different types. We made the localization even for the vaccine in Egypt to make it in a pharmaceutical company in Egypt with cooperation with the Ministry of Health. I see that the economy is starting to recover. I just was reading a report from the EPRD that will reach 5 GDP by end of this year. It is just a matter of time. All of us suffered with this, but from my perspective, we did a good job by the government and everybody who helped it to sustain in this crisis and this very hard times. There was many campaigns to put the awareness for the populations about the masks, the sanitizers.
And these measures are being continuously put into effect, right?
Exactly.
Okay, no, that's good. Last but not least, I would ask one of the questions, obviously, for many of the audience that might be listening to us now or also in the future. What would be your main advice for like young entrepreneurs that are looking to consider the ride-hailing space in Egypt specifically, of course?
For sure, to make it happen or to make it successful, just make good market analysis. Be a customer lawyer. How can I call it? Yeah. Try to put the solutions for the customer. Try to make the customer happy. This will make you happy. It's all about the quality. It is not the quality is important. The price is important, but the customer satisfaction is the most important. You have to study the market well. You have to make analysis well. You have to add value. In every business, to be successful, you have to add on value. This will make you a real entrepreneur.
Okay. I mean, as you know, also, now that everything is very digital, we're quite accustomed to have many different kind of applications on our mobiles these days. So it's not, we're not, we might be loyal to one company, but we of course have the opportunity to have access to other companies, and we use their services when, for example, maybe if demand is too high or you have a certain need for a different kind of service. So in that sense, would you say there is still a good opportunity for newcomers in the market and for young entrepreneurs to explore the ride-hailing space?
Yeah, exactly. I see many potential. I see the market can contain 6 or 7 successful companies. Each one will take a part of the market share of the other company. But the market is booming. Many numbers of people, developing country, with foreigners who came to us every day. It is very doable to see 6 or 7.
Is there any specific gap in the market that you see that it's a good target place for young entrepreneurs to come in?
They have to look about it by themselves.
Okay, don't give away the secrets, of course.
Yeah. No. To be successful, they have to make it happen by themselves.
No, absolutely, of course.
Make them happy. Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah. Well, Mr. Ibrahim, thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure to meet you as well, and we look forward to hopefully some more discussions in the near future.
Me too. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Take care. Have a good day.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.